Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for watching the Jeremy Dewitte Show. It is Jeremy Dewitte's trial time now, June 18th, 2024. As you may know, Jeremy Dewitte went to court this morning to face trial for some of his accounts of not registering his accounts as a PDF file and whatnot. Of course, he's got a couple other trials that are going to be going on pretty soon, but right now we're focusing on this trial because Jeremy Dewitte rejected the plea offer a couple weeks ago and decided to go to actual trial to argue that it's not even him. So as you may know, a couple people from the Jeremy Dewitte community voluntarily and independently went down to the courthouse to witness this themselves. And so we've got live updates from what happened at the courthouse today. Special thanks to some of the people from the Jeremy Dewitte community for going down there. Like Daylight Disinfectant apparently was down there. Shane from So You Dated a Police Impersonator was down there. Captain Hammonds from Reddit was down there again. Wendy from Everybody Knows It's Wendy was down there. And according to each one of them, every other one of them is a very nice person. I've got it on good word and authority that they witnessed Jeremy Dewitte come into the courtroom this morning. They said in his finest orange jumpsuit and polished silver bracelets with ankle chains on. And apparently as he came in the courtroom, he scanned the courtroom and then locked eyes with one of the Jeremy Dewitte community members. I'm not going to say which one it was. And he looked at them and he smiled. And he said something with his lips silently, and we're pretty sure he said, "This isn't going to go the way I think it was going to go." Then he had a seat. A mirror went up there. Jeremy Dewitte was called as present. He was ready to go to trial. Now, there's another trial happening at the same time, which Jeremy is after. So they've delayed Jeremy's trial until they finish the first trial. They're saying that's going to take 2 days estimated to finish the first trial. Now, we've got a report on how the trial system works in Florida, just so you know. Basically, if a trial begins in the morning and if it's not concluded before noon, then the next trial won't begin at all that day. It'll be pushed until the next day or until the other trial is finished. The person that was on trial just ahead of Jeremy rejected the plea deal from the state in the same way, and then the judge decided to pull in the pool of 40 potential jurors for that person to, and his attorney and whatnot, to select from. So they're doing the trial process right now for the person that's ahead of Jeremy. Now, the judge, Keith Karsten, announced that he believes it'll be in the hands of the jury for deliberation by the end of the day, Thursday, which means that case should be decided probably by Friday, and Jeremy Dewitte will probably be back in court next week to continue his trial and do the same process where he'll reject the plea again or whatnot, and then they'll start selecting the jury pool and then go to trial, and it'll probably be over by the end of next week is what I'm estimating. So, in summary, the trial is continuing on as normal, very slowly though. There's no continuances or anything, but the trial will continue. It'll continue on next week, or at least after the first trial is over with the other unrelated person that's not involved with Jeremy Dewitte. So that's what happened in the courtroom this morning as far as the trial and the process goes. Now, people were wondering, was his family there? Was Jennifer there? Was Amir there? Stuff like that. Jennifer did not show up. As you know, Jennifer has a new victim that she found on, I think, the internet, and she's trying to extort money from him or something like that. I don't know. So she was too busy to get up early this morning to go see Jeremy, her previous victim. She's already got him wrapped up in her web, and she's slowly waiting for him to be able to be digested before she comes back to Jeremy. So she wasn't there. But Rania, Jeremy Dewitte's wife, she was there. In fact, she went up to a couple of the people from the Jeremy Dewitte community, didn't recognize them. She asked, "Where's the bathroom?" And one of the people in the community was like, he froze up. This is Shane. According to Shane, he froze up. He didn't know what to say. And then the guy from Reddit stepped in, Captain Hammonds, and he was like, "The bathroom is right over there, ma'am." And she was like, "Thank you." And then as she walked off, they both stared in disbelief. You can see her on the phone, on the screen right there. There she is as she's walking away, being like, "They said the bathroom's down here." No, it's kind of funny because Captain Hammonds apparently went to Ranya's house, I think, last week. I don't know why exactly, but I guess he went up to the door and knocked and gave Rania a fruit bowl, and he said Rania was freaking out like he was the police or the FBI. She's like, Jeremy is not here. My husband did nothing wrong. And he was like, no, I'm here to give you a fruit bowl. And she was like, I know nothing about the fruit bowl. It's not mine. I did not order it. It's my husband. I didn't know nothing about it. And she went crazy on him. And apparently he left the fruit bowl for her to choose whether she wanted to eat it or not. But then this morning, I guess she felt comfortable enough to go up to them, maybe because she recognized them in her unconscious. And she's like, where's the bathroom? They should have said, how's that fruit bowl? You ate it, right? You didn't just throw it away. Personally, I think it's nice that Rania showed up. She's still supporting her husband. She married this man, and most people would have given up on him by now, but she's still waking up early and making her way down to see him in court plead not guilty and try to defend himself against not registering as a sexual offender in Florida on dozens and dozens of counts. Hey, I'd want to see it too. Like, what's this guy going to say? People want to know how culpable Rania is, Jeremy's wife, is in his crimes. People assume she must know that he's doing insurance fraud and stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure that she even knows. I've seen videos of Jeremy Dewitte on his body camera talking to his wife, his own body camera, in private, where he didn't think anybody was ever going to watch these videos, you know. And he's telling his wife about how he used to be a police officer in a COE. And she's like, oh, yeah, uh-huh. And he's telling her stories. And she's thinking it's interesting. And I think Rania thinks he used to be a police officer. She believes him. I don't know why Jeremy Dewitte would lie to his own wife about being used to being a police officer. And I don't know why she would even believe that. In that same video, by the way, Jeremy was visiting with Rania's father, who was over here from Egypt. And Jeremy went in to talk to Rania's father. He doesn't speak much English, but the father said, you know, water, I want water. And Jeremy Dewitte ignored him as long as he could. And then Jeremy was like, okay, and got up to get him some water. Instead of getting him water, he got him a can of Coke. And he gave him this guy a can of Coke, and when the guy drank it, all the carbonation bubbled up in his throat, and the guy couldn't breathe. He was like, can't breathe. And Jeremy Dewitte sat there and ignored the guy while he was like, I can't breathe. Now, Rania, this guy's daughter, was in the other room cooking dinner. Jeremy Dewitte didn't call for her or anything, be like, Rania, your father. Instead, Jeremy sat there and just watched the father choking and not being able to breathe. He didn't administer aid. He didn't do anything. He just watched the father almost die. Luckily, you know, the carbonation went away and the father was able to breathe again. He was leaning over like, close one, Jeremy. At that point, Jeremy was like, what? You want to see my gun? And then he pulled out his gun and gave it to the father. And the father was like, no, I was choking. And Jeremy's like, go ahead. It's a pepper ball gun. And the father was like, oh, cool gun. Started looking at the gun. And Jeremy was like, yeah, cool gun, huh? But then Jeremy Dewitte was like, I've had enough of this. And he took back his gun. And he's like, I'm going to leave on my motorcycle. Bye. And his wife was like, but I'm cooking dinner for us, Jeremy. And Jeremy's like, I'll be back. And then the father was like, motorcycle? You want me to see your motorcycle? And Jeremy Dewitte said, no, I don't want you to see the motorcycle. And he started trying to walk out of the house. And the father was like, I come to see your motorcycle. And the father started following him. But Jeremy Dewitte ran to his motorcycle, started it up, and drove down the street as the father was getting to the door of the house to see Jeremy's motorcycle. Jeremy was driving away. Total disrespect to this father. Jeremy Dewitte's father-in-law, Rania's father. Unfortunately for Rania, her father passed away, I think, last year. Jeremy Dewitte was locked up, so he was unfortunately unable to make it to the funeral or even care. On the jail calls when Rania's like, my father passed away, Jeremy. Jeremy was like, what? I can't hear you. Coffee packs. Coffee packs, Rania. That's a story for another day. And it's neither here nor there, too. The point is, Jeremy Dewitte doesn't give a shit. But his wife was still nice enough to be there in the courtroom this early in the morning to see him, and she'll probably be there again next week. She might even think he's innocent. I don't know. But we're going to find out. We're going to be there next week, or at least someone will be there. I won't be there. I'll be here on the Jeremy Dewitte Show, brought to you by YouTube and PoliceTube's uncle. Thanks for watching, guys. If anything else happens with the trial today, I will let you know. Jeremy Dewitte is still in the courtroom. I think they're just keeping him there until there's a bus transport available to take the rest of the prisoners and him away or something like that. But for now, it looks like the trial is set to keep going, but it'll be next week before Jeremy Dewitte returns to select his own jury pool of people that don't know anything about his story. Neutral people who can decide if 3/16/1974 says Jeremy is innocent or not, like he says. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like this video if you want to hear more updates. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to not miss any other updates. And make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think is going to be happening here. I appreciate you watching. And as always, have yourself a Jeremy Dewitte day.